In the second chord progression we're going to look at, it's going to be in the key of G. And the way I know that is by looking at the key signature, you see 1 sharp. That tells you the key of G. So 1 sharp is the key of G, and this is a simple chord progression that uses the G chord, a G7, and notice when I go from the G to the G7, I'm keeping my fingers in this position. So instead of starting out like this, which could be difficult to move to a G7 all the way like that, what I do is just start out like this for your G chord. And then when you're ready to go to G7, you just lift this up and then you bar, fret the first fret on the first string. So, okay, your next chord you're going to have is A minor, then a C chord. And look, when I go from the A minor to the C, I'm going from here, and then all I got to do is lift up this finger and move it to here. So these two fingers are called pivot notes, okay? So I'm not moving those. Then I go to my D chord and then back to G. And notice when I'm playing G, I keep going back to this because I see the next chord is going to be C. So going to C is going to be an easy transition for me. Boom to boom. Then A7. And the reason I'm playing that like this, hopefully you can guess it by now, is because this note from my C chord, this is going to be my pivot note. So I'm keeping this finger here, and then all I got to do is move that. Does that make sense? So I could play an A7 like, well, let's say I could play C like this, and then G, and then I could go to A7 like this, okay, but that's a little bit farther, so I think that's a little bit easier there. Okay, then D, D7, G, G7, okay, and those are all the different chords, and those chords just keep coming back. So if you want to theoretically analyze it, basically the G chord is the 1 chord, all right? Your C is going to be your 4 chord. Your D is going to be your 5 chord. Your A minor chord, well, that's going to be functioning as a 2 chord, and your A7 is as well, which is going to go to D. All right? And then D7 wants to go to G, and then G7, A minor. All right? So let me play it for you. Here we go. It's going to be a simple 4/4 pattern. I'll talk about the strumming pattern in just a second, but let me play it for you first so you kind of get an idea of what it sounds like. Okay, so that's kind of what it sounds like, just a nice little folksy kind of sounding tune. And the strumming pattern, maybe we get a shot of this. The strumming pattern is going to be down, 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 up, chord change. Okay, so it's down, 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 up. Okay, quickly on the down, up. So down, 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 up, down, 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 up. If you do it quickly, okay. Now you can play this any way you want, really, but when I'm going with the C and the D, where they're both in the same measure there, I'll measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, measure 6. When I go, so I'm going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So C, and then D. And then I go to my G. And when you play it fast, it goes. Right? Okay, so that is your second chord progression, kind of a nice folksy thing in the key of G.